Welcome back to another episode of Council Bluffs Today. I'm Todd Studer, and in studio today, this is going to be a learning experience for me because I know so little about what he does, but you're going to want to know what he does because this is kind of a cool product. But this is Ron Loder, and he's with Tint Advantage, and you put tint on, well, so let me ask you this. My car doesn't have any tint on it. Can you help me out?
Yeah, so we don't, I get that question a lot actually, like 5 times a day. We don't do vehicle tint. It's just residential and commercial spaces. Flat glass is what we call it.
So if somebody needs to knock down the sun glare, or because there's a lot of buildings that I'm sitting in and they have those shades that come down, and I'm like, that's not really doing a whole lot. You know?
Yeah. So that's a great person to get an introduction with. You know, commercial spaces that either just moved in or, like you mentioned, have some glare coming in. That's what I help alleviate is that glare, the heat control, and privacy.
Heat control is a big part of that, though, isn't
Yeah,
it? That
huge.
if you have let's say you have a bedroom that is facing west and you're just getting that western sun all day long, it can heat up in there quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit. So depending on how dark you go, you can knock down your, heating bill or AC bill about 20 to 30%.
Really?
Depending on how dark you go. There's some people that don't want to really darken it up, their environment. So, they go with a little lighter film that it still helps with heat, but it's not as doesn't do as well as a darker film, of course. So it just depends on personal preference, really.
This is the type of field that I'm always curious about. What gets you into this? Because obviously this is a very needed product, but how did you find it, or did it find you?
A little bit of both. So, ironically enough, I was in the investment insurance business for 10 years.
It makes perfect sense.
It's an easy transition, right? I mean, such a natural transition. And, things didn't work out as well as I was, hoping in that field. And so I kind of just made a big shift. And this opportunity arose with another company about 3 years ago. And so I'm like, this is a great opportunity to learn this field, understand it. And throughout that process, I helped over 1,000 people identify their needs and help find solutions for, window film for their home and business. And so that's what kind of formulated Tint Advantage to start my own practice because I've helped so many and I've seen so many people really happy and excited about this product because like what you just mentioned, there's not too many people that know about it actually. So, I'm glad that I can help answer some questions that you have and or maybe your listeners. So
I'm okay. Full disclosure, I'm cheating here. I'm going to lead you into something that I already know where we're going, but still, I would love to see something that would make it so, depending on what time of day it is, depending on whether the sun is out or it's cloudy or what have you, that I can actually adjust what kind of tint I have. Is that possible? Service Master Restore by Schmader knows it can be hard to get things back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke, and that can oftentimes lead to mold, and you may be left with all sorts of questions about how to get your home or business back to normal. It's easy. You give Cindy Schmader a call with Service Master Restore by Schmader. Her phone number, 402-339-9911. Technology should work for you, not against you. At ThinkSpace IT, they provide expert IT solutions to keep your business running smoothly and securely. From cybersecurity and cloud services to network management and tech support, they simplify IT so you can focus on what matters most. Stay protected, stay connected, stay ahead. Visit ThinkSpaceIT.com.
Yeah, great question. I totally didn't tell you about that at all before, did I? Yeah, it's called Smart Tint, and that is actually a film that's been around for a little while, but here in the Midwest, especially Nebraska, it's kind of newer the last couple years. Mm-hmm. And so lately it's been taken off, but effectively what you do is if you want to have a clear picture of the outside of your house or commercial space, and or what's really popular is your office in a commercial space. If you want to have it clear most of the time, but then you want to give it opaque, so you want privacy if you need to have a meeting in the conference room or at home if the sun's coming in or you just want privacy at nighttime, you flip a switch, makes it opaque, completely you can't see in or out, but then, whenever you're ready to turn it back on, you have full clarity and full visibility of the outside. So it's such a remarkable, and it's a head turner. Right? I mean, you hit that button and people are like,
oh, yeah.
Holy moly, what did you do? Especially in a house.
Right.
People are like, what is this? I got to have this,
opaque is different than shades of dark or light, right?
Yeah, so you can do different shading of the opaqueness, but opaque basically, most people that get the smart film, they want 100% opaque, which means you can't see in or out. But you can change the opacity. So if you only want 25%, 50%,
Okay.
75%, or 100%. So there's variations of the smart film, but most people tend to lean more towards the 100% opaque when they get it.
I have seen movies with this in it that somebody's in an office and it's a glass wall and the CEO hits a button and the windows all just kind
Neat.
of yeah.
So
So
neat.
it's not science fiction anymore. We actually have it.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Uh is it common knowledge that you have this? I wouldn't This is really the first that I'm hearing of it. So how many times is somebody coming to you and say, "Hey, I want this," versus, "Oh, did you know this was an option from your part?"
Yeah, mostly the latter part. It's mostly people not understanding that it's an option because usually people think it has to be built in the glass. People don't understand that your current glass that you have in your office or your home, we can put the film directly on it. You don't need to replace the glass. And so they're shocked with that because of the technology that we can do and implement on your existing glass without construction or remodel any of that. So I would say the latter, which most people don't really understand it. It's really That's why I'm having this conversation with you is in your audience, so I can help tell people that it's such a great option to do for your house or business. So
Is it powered?
it,
How does the technology work?
yeah, yeah. So there's what's called a buzz bar on, which is basically electronical portion of the film, either side or top,
Mhm.
whichever works well, and each application is different. And then that buzz bar has two wires coming out of it, and that just connects to what's called a transformer box. And that box is Bluetooth capable, and or you can hire a professional electrician to run it to an actual outlet or a power on-off switch
Hmm.
if you so choose. Most people, I would say, in the residential space really enjoy the Bluetooth. There's actually someone that actually has it on a timer. So it's so
Okay.
neat
Yeah.
because she has it in her bedroom and she just really didn't want to mess with it. So she has it turn clear at 6 a.m. in the morning, so that way it's visible during the day, and then at nighttime at 8 o'clock at night it makes it go opaque automatically. And so and that's just all you do is plug it in the transformer, go to the app, and put in your settings that you want. It's that simple.
I'm wondering too about does can you still see shadows from it? So if you're on the inside and you're backlit, so there's a light behind you, can people still see a shadow walking across? Or I don't know how the opaqueness works.
Yeah, great question. So there is like a 5 foot rule with window film, especially with that. So what I mean by that is if you're within 5 feet, you may see a shadow or something. You cannot make it out though; it's just a shadow. But 5 feet or back, you probably shouldn't be able to see anything, no shadows or
Mhm.
anything. So, but there is a 5 foot rule. Yes.
Well, the bedroom part is what popped into my head.
Oh, okay. Yes, yeah, yeah. You'll be safe. Trust me.
Okay.
Hopefully, you're not within 5 feet of your window, but if you are, be cautious.
If somebody's watching this and they're wondering, hey, I wonder if Ron comes to my area, how far of a service area do you have? I mean, we're sitting here in Council Bluffs right now,
Yeah.
so what kind of radius are you would you go out and help folks out with this?
Yeah, so Tint Advantage helps plenty of people here in Iowa and Council Bluffs, and I would say within an hour radius of Council Bluffs is what we prefer.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, as we extend out that hour, the travel fees may start to add up a little bit,
Yeah.
so it may not make sense depending on how large a job is. So if it's a larger job, we can kind of make it work to where it's not as we could absorb it in the fee, I guess is what I'm saying. So.
Do you do mostly commercial or is it mostly residential or is it kind of just an even split?
No, I would say it's about 80% residential right now with Tint Advantage. And actually, I really love that. I enjoy going to the homeowner's house and watching them see how well they can have privacy in their house, heat control, glare control, and get to see the reaction. With commercial, I love doing that as well, but I normally don't get to see them the day-to-day people that get it, because there could be a large commercial space, right, where there's 300 employees, and I don't get to see every reaction. Where the homeowners, I get to shake their hand and see their reaction, and they love it. And I get to, communicate with them after. How's it going? The film treating you well? And they just love it. So I I really love and enjoy the relationship I get with my residential clients.
Yeah, just a marketing tip. I think Mutual of Omaha is putting up a really big building over
Yeah,
across the river.
I think I've heard of that building, something like that. So
That would be a job that would keep you busy for a day or two.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so it is, as I said, it's designed to fit whatever the needs might be, whether it be residential or whether it be commercial or, what have you. My guess is that if somebody wanted it for their chicken house, you could probably help them out. We're talking to Travis right now, by the way, with his chicken Taj Mahal. But it's wanting to make sure that this is a product that people know is available and also wanted to ask you, is it like high end? Is this something that it's just going to, I'm going to have to take out a new mortgage for my house to be able to use this?
Yeah, I always joke around when I first meet with clients is that because that's one of the questions they ask is like how much does this normally run, and I joke around saying, well, it's usually like $1 million, but we have a 10% discount right now,
Yeah.
so it's only 900,000, so you better jump on that right away.
That sounds like a plan. Yeah. But
So this is no, Todd. This is very cost effective as it relates to, there's other avenues you can go like blinds, curtains, stuff like that. This is just a little bit more cost effective route to go, while still being able to see out. And so I work well with blinds companies because you really need both. And what I mean by that is during the day, window film works exceptionally well for privacy, heat control, all that. But at nighttime, it reverses. And so you're going to lose the privacy at nighttime. And that's why blinds companies, curtains, anything like that would work well with that nighttime privacy. So I would highly recommend having both in your residential commercial project. Um, but it is definitely a more cost effective route going with window film.
how about, I'm thinking about the smart tint. Does it have to be custom fit to a different windows? Because windows come in all different sizes.
hmm No, that's a great question because actually it is very, very important to make sure it's measured correctly in that world because we actually have it fabricated. When we place the order, it's fabricated. We don't cut it. We don't design it. We order it based on the dimensions of the particular job. Give them the dimensions. I'm talking about the company we use, which is Smart Glass Country, and they actually fabricate it and ship it to me ready to go. And so my installer puts it on and installs it that way. So you have to make sure you're really strategic on,
Yeah.
we can cut it a little bit if we have to. We just prefer not to because of the technology that's within that film. We just prefer not to cut it if we don't have to.
It's also accuracy with those measurements because, as I said, there's so many different types of windows that something else that occurred to me is, does it need to be a newer style window? Does this work if the window is older?
Yeah, so annealed glass or tempered glass, it will work on either one, and so it doesn't matter if it's a older home or a newer home. I would say most of the homes we deal with are the newer model homes that are just built and they want to have privacy, say in the bathroom or bedroom. But yeah, no, it could work on any glass, any flat glass, any residential commercial glass, it will work on.
How about how difficult is this to clean? It's not going to stay clean forever. You can put it on and it'll be clean when you walk out the room, but
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
eventually things happen.
Yep, yeah. So it is very common to just use, especially professional window cleaners. What they use is soap and water. With smart film, a little different, of course. You don't want to put actual moisture on the film, so you put a little bit of soap and water, or just maybe even just water, warm water, on a microfiber cloth, and wipe it down if you need to clean it or maintain it. Normal window film, soap and water. After 30 days after installation, it's going to be normal business as usual. The only thing I tell people is just make sure you don't use like abrasive materials like Scotch pads, stuff like that, and then also don't use ammonia products. So ammonia-free products only.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Ammonia can be kind of caustic,
It,
and I'm sure I don't know what the material is that it's being made out of, but doesn't sound like it's not very cohesive.
yeah, yeah, it definitely ruin it. Make it bubble and peel and stuff like that. So you definitely, it's a don't do that.
Well, fill us in a little more on, because you talked about how much you enjoy the feedback that you're getting. So what are some people saying about this? I mean, in-person reviews are always the best.
Yeah.
When you get them right then. So what kind of feedback have you been getting?
Yeah, so I would say the most popular feedback is they're really happy because a lot of times western or southwestern facing homes or windows, they get beat up all afternoon. And I've had particular clients, of multitude of clients, that say, "Hey, my AC does not stop running from 3 in the afternoon until 8 at night during the summer, the hot months." And once we applied this particular film on this client's house, which really wasn't even that dark, it was only 40%, which is like a middle ground. They said instantly that day the AC stopped running at 4. So it took an hour and it stopped. And that to me was such a powerful conversation, because they've lived in that home for over 10 years and they've had this issue throughout that he could remember, he said. So to hear that instantaneously their AC stopped running constantly, that's just more motivation to me to help clients and residential people understand the value that this can help with your HVAC, to help calm that down, save money, and then the repair costs of the HVAC over time. That's not cheap, if you have to replace it. So this just helps alleviate some of that extra burden on that HVAC during the hot months.
Yeah, that's a great point, that you start to save money with this over the life. Is there longevity of a product like this? Once you put it on, how long is it expected to be operational and working for you?
Yeah, that's a great question, because it really matters on two things. Number one, and the most important, is quality installer. It's probably the most vital. It doesn't matter if you have the best, most expensive product on your glass. If you have someone that doesn't know what they're doing and they don't install it correctly, it can cause issues and not work well. So number one, very, very vital, strong installer, and that's very important. Number two, strong product, right? That's definitely a factor. You go to Amazon, you buy something, for 50 cents, that's not going to hold up really well long term. It's not going to do what you think it's going to do. And then you hear the stories of, I've had Tint and it didn't hold up well. And well, what kind of product did you use, right? So I would say couple those together, very, very important. And so we use Matico and Lumar with Tint Advantage, which in my opinion, those two companies have been in business many, Matico over 100 years. Lumar, I'm not exactly sure how long, but very long. And actually they're probably rated as one of the best films for residential and commercial spaces. So very strong films. I have a very strong installer. It's been doing this for over 10 years. So it's, that matters.
Morning Coffee is brought to you by Keith Jones, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Council Bluffs. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. S&B Country Kennel is the top spot in Southwest Iowa when you need to know your dog will receive only the best. Boarding, daycare, grooming, self-washing, training, and even a membership available to a dog park over an acre in size. S&B Country Kennel also has rescue dogs, so check with them about adoption possibilities. sbcountrykennel.com, that's country spelled with a K, located just west of I-29 on Bungie Avenue, south of Council Bluffs.
You're not ordering from Temu, then, is what you're telling me.
Not at all.
Or
Not at all.
Alibaba, what is that other one?
I don't know. Yeah, this is high quality stuff, and it's lifetime warranty for residential. All of my products are lifetime warranty. So
Really?
mhm.
Oh, well, then there you go. I mean, that answers it right there.
Yeah.
Then if you're going to stand behind it,
Mhm.
then you know that this is something that's going to save you money for quite a while. And
For sure.
it, I can see how just over time, because it doesn't really take too many times of that air conditioner not cycling on and off before you're going to see a difference
Oh yeah.
in the bill. It's because I've seen the power bills jump dramatically
Yeah.
as the heat goes up, just because the air conditioner can't keep up. And, Travis, who had mentioned, who is in the HVAC business, had talked about it, that, an air conditioner will take you down a certain percentage in a certain amount of degrees. But if it's 110 out, you're not getting to 68 in your house.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So something like this is really an assist
For
with
sure.
your entire HVAC.
Yeah, it just helps like I said, soften the HVAC system, make it not work overtime, and then the longevity of your HVAC system. Because I don't know the stats on how long it's going to help, stretch out the lifespan, but I'm assuming it's a few years. They say Lumar and Matico have like a stat that within 5 years you already paid back what you install. So if you paid $2,000 to install this, particular film, over the course of 5 years you've been paid back for that install based on the savings of the HVAC, the cooling, and everything like that. So it really pays for itself. And then aesthetically, it looks really pleasing instead of, some potential ugly blinds and stuff like that. If it's old school blinds or curtains.
How are you reaching people? How are folks finding out about you?
Funny enough, I actually with this, I do like Google ads, and people have been seeing that. I do Facebook, social media ads, but I've been doing a lot of door hangers and shaking people's hands. And I just got a client from that last week, and he's like, yeah, I really, appreciate you stopping by and we want to use you. So I go to, door to door as well. So I'm not afraid to do it all.
You're old school.
I am old school. I think I just strap booted up and try to get business so people recognize the value of window film. That's ultimately my goal.
Well, plus in a situation like that, I know, given your expertise and given your background, I am sure that you can look at a house and be able to gain a certain amount of information just from seeing, okay, this you got a lot of windows facing west, and okay, this could be of service to you. So before you've ever had that conversation, there's a potential here that this could be a value to this person.
For sure. Yeah. I'm pretty strategic on when I do go to those homes, which home I go to, because if they have the big tree or they're north facing, north facing doesn't get much direct sun.
Mm-hmm.
So, they may or may not be interested. I have some north facing homes that I've helped, of course, but typically, yes, I'm more strategic. We're going to southwest homes, not with big old mature trees blocking the sun, But however, there are, I think it was last year, that windstorm that came and knocked down a lot of the trees.
Yeah.
I've had so many people call us and say, hey, I don't have a tree anymore, and this sun, I've been living here over 10 years, and this sun, I was just so used to this tree, and now this tree's gone, and I need something to block that, so we can help with that.
So just look for you online, website out there?
Yes, tintadvantage.com or is my website.
Mm-hmm.
My phone number, 402-744-6253. You could call or text that line, and or my social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. I don't use Instagram too much, but I use Facebook.
It's one of those, I struggle with Instagram. I should be using it more. I have a block. I mean, I remember how hard it was for me to pick up Spanish when I was a freshman in high school. That's kind of the way Instagram is now. I can't figure this thing out, but
Yeah.
working on it.
Yeah.
Still working on it.
Me too. It's okay. We're in the same boat.
Exactly. Well, grateful, Ron, that you came in to tell us a little bit more about this. I don't know anything about it, and I love learning about new things. I really love entrepreneurs, and I love folks getting out there and hustling and doing their own thing. And you just check all those boxes. So very grateful that you came in there and came in here today. And I'm looking forward to hearing about all your success, because I can tell that you got a quality product. And if you have a quality product and you match that with service,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time before people find you and start talking.
Yeah.
That's the recipe. That's what you have to do, and you're doing that. So grateful for your time.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much. That means a lot. If anyone wants it's a free quote as well. I forgot to just mention that. I do come out and I bring samples and I show them what that film would look like in their environment, because every house is different, and it's a free quote. So hopefully you use us after the quote, but if not, no harm, no foul. I wish you well, but it's a free quote, so no obligation.
He is Ron Loder, and it is Tint Advantage. TintAdvantage.com is the website. Check it out. See whether it might not be a fit for your home or business. And as Ron just said, at the very least, come out and have a conversation about it. That's the that conversations are always free. That's one of my favorite. I'm going to make up a T-shirt. All right. And we thank you for watching this episode of Council Bluffs today. Don't forget, click like, click share, click follow, do all of those stuff, and we can help more people learn about what's happening right here close to home. My name's Todd Studer, and we will see you next time.